Well, in those days, we were specifically recruited as greenfinches to search female people at check patrols. I joined the UDR in 1973 along with 5 other ladies, and the battalion we joined was in Armagh, and it was the first battalion to take on greenfinches. And I was the 5th member over the door that night. Well, in those days, we were specifically recruited as greenfinches to search female people at check patrols. And we went out on a nightly basis, maybe 3 times a week, with the patrols. And if need be, we helped to search cars and females, as the male soldiers were not allowed to check females. Well, the reason that they recruited the females into the Ulster Defence Regiment was it was starting, the IRA were starting up pretty strongly, and the people knew that women could not be searched, and it was believed that they may have been carrying arms or indeed explosives. We lost our first soldier who I really knew very well. Bobby Crozier grew up with me in my young days and lived beside me for, I would say, 20 to 30 years. It really got to me because there was no benevolent fund or anything in the early days. Really and truly, we would have gathered in those days maybe £1 of each soldier to give to the widow. So from the very beginning, I took a big interest in welfare, and then as I went on, I was able to have more time on welfare, which was sad, but it gave me a wealth of knowledge on what to appreciate in my own life, of what I had, but also I knew that I was going to be able to help those people. And from that, we started the UDR Benevolent Fund. It grew out of the huge amount of deaths that was being suffered, not only in the Armagh Battalion, but right across Northern Ireland. So therefore it had to be formalised into a proper welfare scheme. And on the wall there's 1,327 names of people that lost their lives during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. Stephen Carroll, who was killed in 2009. I honestly thought that we wouldn't be adding in 2009 any more police onto our memorial wall. Well, we now run quite a big group in Markethill called Save Our Neighbour. We have a lot of people now coming from the Tyrone area and we've some from Lisburn, we have some from Belfast and other places. The support that is needed here for counsellors is growing day by day. We notice now at the present time we have a lot of people suffering from post-traumatic stress, and really GPs very few are trained to deal with post-traumatic stress, which the counsellor is. We are getting them on a daily basis. Also, there is a team set up, the Historical Inquiry Team, which is looking at cold cases that goes way back and bringing them to the fore. And I can assure you this, in my eye, I'm not sure if it's such a good thing or not, because it's bringing people back to the very first time that they lost a loved one. And indeed, some people have been as much, if not more, affected now than they were at the time. And having said that, it means that people, young men, maybe 16 at the time they lost their father, became the man of the house and knew his responsibilities, but never really at that time may have known the full extent of what happened to his father, but I can assure you now that he does know, and women and wives the same, it's having a huge effect on them, and it is rippling down into their families now. I have heard stories from ex-prisoners, from people who have committed murder, and some of them I've been very saddened with how young they have been brought into the organisation. And I have met 3 in particular, and each one of them has said that they were sorry. The next generation now is suffering badly. Now, not all at the minute now, but ones that are going through that are. And in some cases now, it's very sad, because we would have seen people coming over the door that was badly traumatised and have turned to alcohol. I have good hope for the future. I honestly think I see a better future. If I could go back to Saver Never, we have colours which are red, black and gold. And the red stood for blood, black stood for death, but gold stood for a better future, let it be on this earth or beyond. And let your children and your grandchildren know that you have memories that have not been taken away, and hope for a brighter future.